Hello and welcome. Tonight we're going to, let me show you what we're going to work on. Hi, Bonnie. And we're going to actually do the matting for the outside of our box because that is all cut. Hi, Tina. But what we're going to do, oh, I took the cards out. Okay. Let me just put them in here. So the whole idea is that we have our album in the back. No, mine's not finished. So we'll get back to that video. And I know a lot of you you'll be catching up too. But I'll be able to put the Christmas cards here. And I'm just going to use basic white envelopes that I buy. And then in here, I was going to do more of a journal type thing. And then I thought, you know what? For Christmas, I need something that's a little more usable for keeping track of gifts and whatnot. So I'll show you what we're going to do there. And I'm going to take that out. I'm going to take the two cards out and show you what we're going to work on. Just put that in the bottom. And I went ahead. So when we did our, there we go. We did the light. You know, we've got our little lights inside there. I went ahead with my E6000 and I just glue that down. And that's the reason I can't really do this part live. Hi, Linda, because it needs to dry. And then I just set something a little bit heavy on it, like a punch. You can use anything heavy so it doesn't move because you don't want it to end up glue drying and then it's stuck out here because we need this whole area here to fit on our box. And then I just added some glue, E6000 right there to kind of pull my wires in so that when we put it on top of our box, it'll fit nice. And then when we want to put it on, when we want to turn it on for display, there we go. And then it's not in the way. Okay, let's look at the cards. And there's one thing about making cards. There's two things. I make it with scraps or I set out with an absolute idea in mind where I use a new paper pack because I want them all a certain way. These kind of cards, when I'm using leftovers, I'm just using leftovers. So yours may look a little different, but I'll give you the measurements. And this one, I did go a little different. It's very old world. I think it looks very old world. And I'll show you everything I used. And then there's another kit that you saw, the original project. So the paper won't be out just for a little bit, but you'll remember this one. This was the whole. So I will be doing this after the 19th of October so that you guys get the tutorial if you bought this kit with that paper too. So I want you to be able, to have both of them. Hi, Teresa. So the main thing was using the scraps. And this is what I did for the first card. So I'll have two of these and I'm going to show you what I used. I'll have two like this, since one's already made, and then I'll have two like this one. I really like this one a lot. And then you've got some really nice cards with your scraps. So yours may come out a little bit different. It'll all just depend on what you have left. But I want to show you some fun things that I used. Now, a doily. I know in your stash you have some doily dies. You might even have this really, really old Bo Bunny. This is old, but I love it. It is a little hard. It's the one I showed. There's some old videos. I show how I take my shop vacuum and actually get all my pieces and parts out. And then the Heartfelt Creations dies. This is one we had. And then, of course, I used all these small ones. Love this one. And this is what made all those little poinsettias. So if you don't have it, you're going to want it. And then I used the circle. I'm telling you, these Heartfelt Creations, they're just really made well. They're so handy that I just keep them sitting at my desk. And then I just took the die that fit the best in our images. So he was down here in the corner, and I just put the die there, and I cut out the Santa face because it's so adorable. And this is the Doodlebug. This is the Lily White glitter paper. So you could use any glitter paper scraps that you have in your stash. And any of these will be really cute because I also used this guy. Oh, maybe he's down here. Yeah, he's down here. I used him that's going to go on the front of our card. So I'll go through all those measurements with you. And then another product, and you need to go to everything's on Country Craft Creations except for this. Liquid pearls. You saw Bonnie playing with them, so I got mine out. Silver, white, and gold. You got to have silver, white, and gold. And that's what created the fun centers in my poinsettias. Super easy to use. You can just pop it on there. They really don't take long to dry. I was surprised. And then you've got, they're stuck there. They're not going to come off. And they're flat so that they'll go inside of your envelopes just fine. So that's what we're going to start on. And then this is also a remake. Where did I put it? Oh, it's under the paper. I had done this, back with an authentic school paper, and the tutorial was lost. So I thought this is going to be perfect for this Christmas organization box. And if you remember when we started, this was another die cut that we used to cut the window on our pocket. So I used it here. It just went so perfect. We have a belly band, and then there's your notebook. And again, you can take it out, and when it's full, or for next year and the year after, then you can just put a new one right inside of there. Keep your notes. And you only need one piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. So we are going to do those two. I'm not going to mat this with you, but I will give you the matting dimensions. And I use the 8x8 paper pads. So in your kit, or if you're going to purchase them separate when it comes out, it's going to be a little delayed. The printer is trying to finish up my Halloween. I kind of knocked her with a lot of different collections. So this will be the 8. You'll need the 8x8 collection and the 12x12 collection, unless you bought the kit. Wedding plans definitely will keep you busy. So let's get started with our cards. And for the bases, I did put up the measurements. They're 7 inches by 5. So that means you need a piece of cardstock 10 by 7. And then you just score down the middle at 5. So I cut 4. I've already made 2. Let's go ahead and make these together. Now, if you bought the kit, you already have the gray, my colors in there. And again, the colors I use may not be, you may not like them. So you're going to do yours different. And I cut it 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. It's going to be my first layer. My second layer, this is from the 8x8, 4.5 by 6.5. So we're going to now just put that right on top of there. So these cards are really, they're very simple. You can assembly line them. And I have already inked everything in my black ink. So I'm going to just glue them down. And these measurements, when you buy the kit, hi Tanya, the measurements will be on your cutting guide. Because I just did 2 cards the same. Because when you're doing an assembly line, if you're going to be making a lot of Christmas cards, you don't want them to all be different. I only do them all different when I just have time to sit, and kind of piddle, and you're making your Christmas cards or your birthday cards, and you have time to just sit and play and enjoy it. So that will sit in the center, give us all those different layers. And I was able to make these 2 cards with all the scraps. that we have so far. I do need to go back and mat the album. Hi, everybody. Okay, let's get to the fun pieces and parts, which I buried. So one piece I need to cut is a burgundy back, and I didn't cut it for there, so I'll cut him down with my scraps. And again, just grab the scraps that you have, 3.5 by 5.5, or 3.5 by 5. So Homer just jumped up on my chair behind me, so I won't be sitting down. Let me cut it, and I'll give you the measurements so they're not wrong. He thinks he has to be up here every time I'm working. Okay, I'll round the corners. This piece is 3 7/5, 3 7, or I can't talk tonight. Sorry, 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Go ahead and round the corners. And you got to move, boy. Oh, how nice. He's going to let me share my chair with him. 3.5 by 5. So we've got a 1/4 inch that goes all the way around. 3.5 by 5, and then 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And let's just do some laying down first. Then I cut our reading Santa Claus. He's reading the good list, and he sees Sally's not on there. I can tell by the look on his eyes. He's just really disappointed. And I cut him down to 3.5. Well, it's almost 3.5 by 3.5. I just kind of got close to the edges. And so I just cut my mat 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 from the scrap. He's pretty cool looking, I think. And I didn't back the original one. And I thought it needed more color, and I'm glad I did, because I do like the burgundy behind it more. Gives it more color there. And then from this one, which this is the 8 by 8, this is the 12 by 12, so the images are bigger. I've already cut out the stars that are ornaments to bring in that blue. No, Sally doesn't have time. I'm sorry, Jennifer, but the cutoff was September 1st. She can't get on it. I've already told Santa she can't be on it. Okay, so I cut out 3 of the stars, just fussy cut because it needed the color. Oops. And I didn't get those inked today because I was running out to meet the fire marshal and get our other inspections done. And so, okay, now we've got 2 different sizes, of course. It is, yeah, it is. We have 8 by 8, which I used the season greetings on the other one. See, the 12 by 12s are just too big. So you'll want to use your 8 by 8s. And I'll just use the same one again for across the top. I was kind of thinking the black, but that might be too much. And I'm excited. I'll already have some of this year's Christmas cards done. Super easy to cut out. You can even use your paper cutter on the straight edges if you want. And again, I just put them down flat. With cards, you want everything to be flat pretty much. Oh, that's a lot of cards, Tamale, but that is so nice. I know. It is really nice to make these cards and also get them definitely sent to nursing homes or, oh gosh, there's so many places you could donate them. But one of my favorite is the nursing homes, because if you give them the cards and the envelopes and spend, I used to have time to go spend, and we would, I'd do some cards with them, but we'll see how this year goes. Okay, I've got the ribbon, and it doesn't matter what ribbon. You can use a ribbon that's in your stash, but you'll have enough when you get your kit. You'll have little pieces left over for the bows. I did put a bow on this one. Going to do our matting, and we'll get everything down. Again, we want to leave enough room for our heading. Hi, Bonnie. Thank you. I really like this collection too. And I did decide to go quite different on this one. And the main thing that I did when I started the cards was just to gather the scraps that I already had. And I just started cutting. Hi, Joan Fried. How are you? Okay, and we want to bring this in. I want some of the black. I want all my layers to show. Layers always look nice, right? So what I did is I already prepared the flowers, because doing them on camera was going to take forever. So I've got some teeny tiny ones. I'll be using some different sizes. Well, sort of, because I didn't make a bunch more. When you do the dies, ouch, my knee's not happy today. Okay, this one, these are all Heartfelt Creations. Just go on and you'll see the poinsettia dies at Country Craft Creations. This smaller one, which is those smaller sizes, are just perfect for your cards. The big one is kind of big, so I definitely will set those for something else. And I do want one of the large ones. And like I said, I kind of want to keep these guys. I probably should have cut some more, but I didn't. So we may only have, he's got to have more than two. So I'm only going to put two right now. I'll have to cut the third one because I really want those others on the other card. So I'll make some more. So when you do these, again, if you have time, just do a whole bunch. I know Tanya cut a ton of them and just filled her little little box full of them, and she has a ton of poinsettias, so you can pre-make them. And I do need to make some more meat. I call these medium size, and these are the babies. So I do need to have one more here. Now for the ornaments, like I mentioned, I just felt we needed to bring in some of the glue and blue. Into our card. The 8x8 is smaller, of course, but you also have your sleds you can cut. You can cut the greenery and pop in there. The stars, these are the small ones, of course, and you can even fancy cut your Santa Claus. Go on the inside. Way too much. Then I'll cut a bigger poinsettia right there. And then we're just going to tie a bow for the top. If you want to use your bow maker or just your finger. Because it's just a single bow. Again, this black ribbon will be in the kit, and there is more coming in different colors, and it will be available when the paper is available. Once I glue that down, it will be much better. And I just pop a clothespin on there. It will dry. And then it will be stuck. And on the inside, I just cut a piece of white, and this Happy Holidays. One thing I didn't do was cut another one because I forgot. And it comes from this die. The only thing is I've really got to look at this Heartfelt Creations die because I don't know if any of you have used it. This piece is this piece. This is Season's Greetings. And if you can get Season's Greetings out of that, well, that's the only thing I'm confused on. So I am going to go watch the video because it's supposed to say Season's Greetings. You don't need the backing. There is a backing for each one of these, but I do need to go watch their video on this because if you notice the Season's Greetings, well, guys, I'm not seeing it. I am not seeing it. So it's probably, I don't know. I definitely am going to have to get a hold of Heartfelt Creations. Because this is the one that's supposed to be Season's Greetings. Upside down. Sandy, let me look. because I'm not seeing it. But I love the Merry Christmas from this set. Let me put these back in so nothing gets lost. Well, it's not going back in right this moment. You're saying it's upside down? But, oh, okay. Maybe I can see it a little bit better. Oh, okay. Season's greetings. Well, I guess it's better, huh? Okay. It is better. You're right. I've been upside down here. I still don't know. I don't know if other people would read it either. So, okay. Well, I'm still going to go watch the video because here's the cool backing. Of course, it doesn't help that this is the same color, but I just wanted to cut it all. And I'm still not, like I said, we'll go watch the video on Heartfelt Creations. They got some great videos. But the Happy Holidays, I didn't cut. So I'm not going to worry about doing the inside with you, but I did cut this at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then just a leftover strip of the gold for the inside. And I do like to do the insides. The front is so heavy. I want it to stand. I don't like it when the back's weak and buckles, but you don't have to, of course. And that is our first card that's going to go into our box. And our second. I did the same card sizes and then everything that I did show in the beginning. And so we'll go ahead and get it. I'll give you these measurements for the gold and the bottom, and we'll get it laid down. Oh, and I need to cut a piece of the back. So just from my white cardstock, our card's 5 by 7. So this will be 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Oh, I did cut it. It was sitting right there on my desk. So that's going to go down first. Yeah, I'm just not seeing it. I'm going to have to really play with some different colors to see what we can get. But no, there's a paper. I can't remember if Heartfelt Creations had a paper that one goes with. Because a lot of times they print it on the paper and then you can cut it out. And then it really, you can see what it was. I'm going to have to check that out. Okay, for my gold on top, again, scraps 4 5/8 by 3 1/2 for the top. And then for the bottom, where one side is our old-fashioned Santa, so you can use either one. I wanted to mix them both, but put that one right there. So I used the new Santa. I might use the old Santa because I'm going to use them in the center. So that's the nice thing, so you can flip it. And it's 3 inches by 4 5/8 for the bottom. So we'll put the bigger piece on first at the top. And really, even when I was cutting all the poinsettias this morning, I think it took me just 20 minutes to get everything cut and ready for the cards. And then I made the first 2. So these won't take you long at all, especially if you kind of assembly line them. And we'll just reverse this one so it's a little different. And then, you know what? Any doily die will work. This one is a 4-inch doily. or you can just use regular doilies. And it doesn't have to be super intricate. It can be whatever you like. And from that Heartfelt Creations dies, I am going to be using this this whole season. I am in love with this. Oh, the only thing is I will be covering up my Santas a little bit. So I'll move him. There we go. And you can even kind of bend these. I really like how these cut out. And if you're just joining us, I did show the circles that I used from our Heartfelt Creations circle dies, the eyelet circles. And you're going to see, I have been using these so much because of the different sizes. They are fitting almost everything that I've been making, and I'm loving it. Oh, that's a good idea, Sue. So as you can see, it comes from 4x4. So you could even use that and then add some more layers. So much better than a punch, because I was able to use the 2.5, and then I used the 3x3 for my Santa's face, and then 3x3 for my Doodlebug glitter paper, and that's going to go in the center. And then you've got a really nice card that's not store-bought. And you've got your leftovers to use. And I'm just going to add adhesive here to these big parts and the big parts here. I need to get out. I've got those dots that you put on and use when you cut your projects. I'm going to start playing with that so it makes a self-adhesive sticky back. And I've carried them for a long time. I just need to get them out and use them. That's plenty. And I like to put these layers down separate, because if you use a glitter paper, it is it's heavy. Or you could use the gold or silver mirror that I carry. Or you could just use a white. But I thought, I got these scraps from Doodlebug, so I just got them out. Okay, now I kind of distressed him a little bit. I used some brown. This one I didn't. Because the ink, look, it just took really well. Okay, let's put down our Merry Christmas. The big tips are in stock now, and boy, does it make it easy to add your adhesive to these small pieces. And these were actually the medium poinsettias. These are just the small ones, which is okay. They still look great. And then all you have to do is put these with some white envelopes. And if you're giving your box as a gift, white envelope, and you are good to go. Now for the inside, I did again use some white, and I used a 2-inch strip. This is 2 inches at the bottom. So again, you can just use your scraps however you like to do the insides. But I do like that, especially when you've got a dark color. And then what I did is I just cut 3 inches off of here. Since I have it, let's go ahead and put it down. This is the one I just got done cutting a few minutes ago. Actually, I'm going to cut 2.5. And it's the one that's 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So I just want a white spot at the top. You can even leave this that way if you want. But we will add. And I don't really measure with cards. Except for the matting like we did out on the cover. And let's go ahead and see. That one was 2 inches. This one's going to be 2.5 by 4 3/4. And again, I'm just going to reach over. I'm not going to use that. I have a feeling that's for the cover. One 3/4 and 2.5. But I'm going to go 2 5/8. Let's see how that fits. And we've got green. When we turn that over, it's going to be a great strip. Too long. So I'll just take 1/4 inch off. Put it down here, and I'm going to add the green right across the top. I like cards like this where there's no kit, there's nothing. We are just, I call them no-brainer cards. And a lot of fun, I think, comes from seeing how they turn out. Because when I did the first card, I was like, what am I doing? I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Because using the dark background and whatnot, I'm like, and I like it. May not be for everybody. And then the same with the second one. It was just kind of like, oh, well, I like how that turned out. Covered up the 2 birdies' heads, but that's okay. And if you want a sentiment on the inside, that's where I just cut from our cut aparts here. I actually used this one, but I used it from the 12 by 12 sheet. And I think I'm just going to use Mr. Santa Claus here from the 8 by 8. It's nice to have both sizes. So I just cut this out as a square. We'll use our corner rounder. We're not even going to try and make those corners perfect, because the corner rounder will do that for us. And there we go. Small poinsettia die set is the poinsettia and holly cluster. So I'll leave that here so you can see it on the website. Let's put that in the center. You're welcome. And that's that. We have the cards made. It's good and dry. Actually, I'll probably take my heat tool to that. Oh, there we go. When I make the other poinsettias, I'll go ahead and do my inside so that it looks like that. And then we'll just grab our box. And again, we'll just put them in our box and they'll be ready for gift giving or for you to give. But basically with your 4 cards and 4 envelopes, that's about your limit here unless you're going to do them completely flat with no poinsettias. It'll hold 4 with 4 envelopes, which is really, I mean, this is a really nice gift when you think about it. So our notebook will fit in front and our folio in the back. And that's going to work. It's going to be so cool for a gift. I can't wait to make these for family members. So we're going to go ahead now and create the folio part, but I am going to use the other paper since I've already got one made and they're made the same. I'll make it with the red cardstock like I did for the original project. And you just need one 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. Your choice of colors. I may have to do it out of the burgundy. Let's see if I have any red left. We're waiting for more red to come in. Okay, that won't work. Okay, the burgundy came in, the red has not. So let's go ahead and I'll do another burgundy one. I'm going to use the same notebook. And let me clean this off just so. I haven't been home much to take care of my crafting supplies. We're in the final end of getting the store. Yes, you can be a family member, Sandy. I consider you family member anyway. We're in the final of getting the store. One more inspection. Main electricity. And they hooked it up backwards. So it's been a crazy day. So on our 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, hi Charlene, I want you to score at 3 1/8, 3 1/8, and 3 3/8. Okay, so we have a 1/4 inch gusset, but we need 3 3/8. 3 is your second one, 3 1/8 is your first. Then you're going to turn it. So my score lines are now at the top and score at 3 3/4. Then we'll turn again and score at 3 1/8. And I did not have this down in the cutting guide. No, I'm not kidding. We've been there. Yeah, it's been a day. And 3 3/8. Okay. we've got some burnishing to do here. It's a little different. So what we're going to do is just fold up the bottom first. And we need a good scoring tool, one that you can really put pressure, because I'll show you something. We also need to check when our bottom is burnished that our score lines are matching pretty well. Because what we're going to do is we're going to burnish them together. I find you can burnish them separate, but I have found when you burnish it together, it actually works better because we have burnished them in exactly the same spot. There's my first one. I turn it because it's easier to put pressure on my paper, and then I push down because you're going through all those layers. So you want to go a little bit slower here. And then when we pop it out, keep it together. And that's what that will look like. Okay. Now we're going to do it here. And hold your paper and just fold it over. Second line. And we actually got through those cards, so I will map this with you. Oh, well, no, I won't. Because where this is my second one, if I mat it with you, I'll be cutting into the paper that I need to use for my folio, and then it will mess you up following the tutorial when we do that part. So I will give you the measurements for this part, or you also can wait till you get your kit. Okay, so we've got it down how we want it. See, I have some stuff sticking out here, and that's okay. We're going to fix that in a minute. But in the meantime, we're going to fold this back down. We're going to add our adhesive into this square. And into this square. Hi, Annette. How are you doing? I was going to be live tomorrow night, but I can't. I forgot Sally comes in tomorrow. She'll be here. So now when that folds up, so we will be getting back to this project though. But I think I've got you pretty far along for when your kits can't come. That the storage grand opening is the 19th. And then Sally goes home, and then I can go back to being live. Oh, good. I hope you are doing good, Annette. I do see your post a lot. I like to see when you're there that I know you're okay. As okay as can be. Hi, Denise. Let's just burnish that glue down. And now, if you want to use your blade, you want to use your cutter. See how mine's hanging over the edge there? But I have a big dolly cutter, so it's really easy to fix. You may not have the dolly cutter, and you'll have to use your small one. And it's going through 2 layers of paper, so it may not work so great. So I'm going to grab the dolly over here. Because it works really well. And then I can just clean up that edge. And that edge doesn't need it. And Homer's sound asleep, and he's beating his tail on my desk. It's so cute. He must be dreaming. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. On the side there. Hi, Linnell. The paper inserts or the paper matting? Now the paper insert for this is just our notebook. We're making everything except for this. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. You can buy them on Amazon in big packs. And then at the top, see, I just wrapped a strip around the edge. So I get my paper pads. Actually, I just get them on Amazon and I buy them in a huge package because we go through a lot of these. And then the paper collection is one of my new Christmas collections. We have Old World Christmas and Once Upon a Christmas. And then you will be able to change out your notebooks. So when you make your notes, and then you have your notebook here. See, remember, oh, and I need to show you. Remember that little piece that I did show when I cut out the window? So I did go back with my art glitter glue and I just glued it down. And it works really well. So you can write your notes, save them inside the pocket, or you can put them over here in these pockets. Or if they're not notes that you want to keep, then you can just throw them in the garbage. Otherwise, they can just go here. You can fold them and put them in the pocket if you're saving them for your shopping list. Okay. And we'll get this cover done. But I won't be able to come back and do this one till the 21st of September. But that's okay. You'll be working on everything else. So let me give you the measurements for this. And let me grab the notebook. And then we'll make the belly band. Because when you make the belly band, you do want your notebook inside of here. And see how nice that closes? Now we did these. I did them for school teachers. And the tutorial, a lot of you it was back in 2017 or 18, did a lot of these also for your school friends and teachers. Then our belly band will go on. So let me give you some measurements. This comes out to be 8 inches and it's perfect for your 8 well, it's 8 1/8. Sorry. You don't even have to cut the length of your 8 by 8. For instance, this is 8 by 8. No, this is 12 by 12. That doesn't help us, does it? 8 by 8. I still have the 8. So the 8 by 8, see, fits perfect. I'm just looking at our length. So you leave it 8. And all I did was cut my 8 by 8. I cut a 3-inch piece. And then I cut the other 3-inch piece just next to the train so that it looked like it keeps going. So these are 3 by 8, both of the outside pieces. And the inside, this is from the 8 by 8. I used a flower on each corner. They are 3 by 8. Now the inside where your notebook goes, and don't worry, we're going to, you'll be able to go back and watch this video when you get to this point. So it is 5 1/8. No, it's 5 1/8. So I did this and the measurements came out so easy. 5 inches, and then just measure your pocket. So your matting is going to be 3 3/4. So 3 3/4 by 5. And I just put it down in my pocket like an inch. But actually I didn't even go that far. And I just kept this piece because I wanted a scrap piece, 5 by 5. So 5 by 5, 5 by 3 1/4, 5. Why can't I say a quarter anymore? 5 3/4, 5 inches and 3 3/4 wide. So measure 3 by 8 and 3 by 8. Now your belly band. You need a piece, a scrap piece again. You just need a scrap piece. That's 12 inches. You can actually make your belly band any width you want, but I made mine 1 1/4. I'm going to double check. No, 1 1/2. A lot of times you just have 1.5-inch pieces left over. It just seems to be your standard leftover piece. This, when you get it matted, will lay a lot nicer. See how much nicer that lays once it's matted? Matting helps everything. So all you're going to do is take your belly band. Oh, this one's different color cardstock. Make sure your gussets are square. Square means nothing is, falling in. Oh, that's a nice contrast for you to see on camera. All I do is wrap it. You don't want it to be too tight. Belly bands are super easy. I don't ever score them because unless it's a big piece, because a big gusset, otherwise it's too hard to get the perfect scoring on the sides. The two new papers are Once Upon a Christmas and Old World Christmas. So this is the first one. And they'll be out where I'm hoping by the end of this week. So there is that one with the light in there. This one's Old World Christmas. And this is the walkthrough. I did all the walkthrough on. And I used our red. But you know what? This would look also gorgeous with the green cardstock. This one is Once Upon a Christmas. That one's Old World, and this one's Once Upon. Oh, Tiffany, you're so sweet. So, very simple, and that's all I did there. And then you want to measure. Yours might be different than mine. It just depends on how you've scored and how tight your belly band is. So mine came out to be 5 1/4. So it's 5 1/4 on both sides long. So I would cut my matting at 1 3/8 by 5 1/8 front and back. And again, this was the piece we cut in the tutorial from Heartfelt Creations from that. And I showed that die in that last video where we cut the center. And that was the leftover piece. So I just put it on our belly band and I thought it looked really terrific. Belly bands are fun because you can decorate them or you can leave them if you don't want them super decorated. And then I just cut out from the 12 by 12 sheet. It was this one. This is the 8 by 8. This is the 12 by 12. And I just put it on the center and it looks great. So use your dies. I love dies. Let's see, it goes this way. Then my notebook sits in the center. Belly band goes on. So let me take the notebook back out so I can put it back in our box. And then we're going to mat the outside. That's the wrong one. See, it doesn't fit. So see, it just depends how you have, there we go, folded it along those edges. But let me put the notebook in. There we go. And our band on. And then once again, because I need my box anyway. I hate when work just gets in the way of crafting. Any crafting, Tiffany. Oh, and then I took from the 12 by 12 sheet, the Merry Christmas. Just put it down. You don't want, I thought, oh, I'm going to put all these poinsettias and we're going to make it really pretty. And then I was like, no, we're not. We're not going to shut it because we have our nice waterfall to put photos on. And if we do that, well, it's not going to shut. So don't decorate this really heavily or you're going to be sorry. Okay. Do you see how nice that's going to fit in there? Isn't that great? I love it. So I'm going to go ahead now and just close my box for a minute and let's grab the matting because I've already cut it for this box. And I also took out my other pieces. Now we can put this away because I can use it, even though the belly band's a little different color. I know we had some off cardstock a while ago from the mill. So let me show you what I chose. Now in your kit, when you order the kit, you get the green, the gray, and I think there's one more color. But what I chose, oh, black. You get a green, a gray, and black. I chose the 8x8 for my cover, the wooded. And then I put it on the green. And I'll give you those measurements. And then I put it on the black. And I'll put it on the cover. I really liked that. And of course, it's different on the Old World Christmas. I used the brown, and this one didn't have the triple. This is the 8x8 sheet, and I used the brown. But so in the kit, you'll get the brown. Yeah, there's two different kits. There's Once Upon a Christmas and Old World Christmas, which is this one. So we will do, I'll have another one of these boxes created so that I can do the matting on this one with you. And I am just going to have to mute. Okay, sorry, the girls were just packing up here. Okay, I just need to put these back before I lose them. And we'll be doing the tags for this one. So this one is Old World Christmas. And you can choose Old World Christmas. And the pictures are on there. And there's a walkthrough for this. Or you can choose Once Upon a Christmas that we're working on now. The rest of this tutorial will be created after the 19th. And then you do get the feet with your kit. So that's inside of there. And you do get the ribbon. So whichever kit you choose, and the lights. But we got started early because I knew I needed to get this started early. We had to start it early so that with the store opening, and I knew you guys wanted to do this. Okay. Sides. Because I wanted to keep with the theme. So we're going to use the green, which again, it's going to be in your kit. And the colors, I think, no, the colors aren't listed. And then this will be the cover. And you'll see here in a minute when it all comes together. And I'll give you the measurements. So let's get all this put together. And we'll put our feet on tonight so they can be drying. Good night, Tommy. And I want to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and ink these really quick. Let's get the inking out of the way. And I talked about this early on in the tutorial. When you order the kit, there will be a cutting guide. And you can use it while following the tutorial. But here's the nice thing. How cute would this be to do for the bride for a wedding? For her wedding planner, you make her the little book. You make her the little notebook. You make her, I'm trying to see here. Oh, is Rhonda out there? Rhonda, if you're out there, that is in British Columbia, actually, and that's not my store. And it was really weird. Somebody in British Columbia, because my store's not closed, somebody in British Columbia actually bought a website, which when you buy website listings out of country, well, they are considered out of country with this. It's another country, so it's not on the US based, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's not my website, so it's not permanently closed, I promise. You need to just go countrycraftcreations.com. That one, yeah, I don't know whose website that was. I do not know who bought my domain in Canada, but they did. And somebody shut them down. So I thought that was really weird. Oh, well, I'm glad you popped in, Annette. Oh, let's get some measurements. So this color is the boxwood. And we're going to start with the black. So in your kit with the black, you won't cut this with the other one. No, you won't cut this one. It doesn't have the 3 layers. This one has 3 layers. This one is 8 3/8. 8 3/8 by 7 7/8 for the black. Then you're going to cut the green boxwood at 8 1/8 by 7 5/8. And again, this will be on your cutting guide. Okay. And it'll be right here in the video. Back to what I was telling you about the wedding. This would be a really cute wedding box. This would be an absolute amazing baby, maternity, mom, baby box. And I can just think so many different things to use this project for. So when you get your tutorial, the written part, but you know what? If you didn't get the written part and you didn't buy the kit, that's okay. You got the tutorial. But this way you're getting everything I used and the lights, and you don't have to go in and buy everything separate. Now, this is cut from the 8 by 8. And it is 7 3/4 wide by 7 3/8. So if you've ever watched me, first I take, so this is 7 3/4, but the paper is actually 8 by 8. So I want you to take an 1/8 on one side and then take an 1/8 again on the other side and keep it so that you've got your graphics balanced. And then it's going down. I just love this. I love that. The farms in the back makes me want to be there. Okay, just use my scoreboard. Help me keep things centered. Oh, Deneen. And Deneen also writes it up too. So she has a different where she makes it with charts. So it's really cool. And this would make a really lovely wedding gift. You can make the card smaller. I would do 3 by 5 thank you cards to put in the box for the bride. Okay. That goes down. Now, one reason I chose this is I like that the graphic, how it, when I was putting this on and I put it at the bottom, because now I knew this is going to be used for boxes right away. I just loved, or for covers. So it makes it so when our lid comes on, my graphic isn't super hidden. Okay, let's go ahead and put our matting down. And this actually looks like I have 4. Well, I do have 4 layers. We have burgundy, black, green, and pattern paper. Finish spreading the glue around. Yes, we love layers. So I wanted the green to keep going, but I didn't do the black. You certainly can if you like. I just went with the green because the front is kind of like your wow. That's where we're looking at. So then I'll have the greenery to continue over. Oh, how about some measurements? Okay, we have 3 7/8 by 7 7/8. 3 7/8 by 7 7/8. Then we have 3 5/8 by 7 5/8. We kept it pretty square. And you'll cut 2 green and 2 of your pattern. And that's upside. No, it's not. If you're wondering if it's upside down, turn it over and look at your candy canes. Same measurements. The nice thing is, even though we won't get back to the tutorial, which we're pretty much through it all but decorating and matting the book and of course the other one, you have plenty of time. This will be done. You'll be done with this in probably the middle of October if you keep working on it. So I'm going to turn it on the side. Well, let's go this way. So it really won't be hard to mat. Main thing is I want to try and keep it even with that black matting on the front. And then the other side, and I do need to do the bottom, but I didn't cut. I guess I did. I used a piece of black. And I cut it, but I guess I didn't put it here on my desk. So the bottom, I'll give you the measurement. And you do want to do the bottom so it looks finished, especially if it's a gift. Well, even so, if it's going to sit out, you want it finished. Okay. Now, for the back side, all I did there was not cut the matting like I was supposed to. So let's cut that matting. And I hope I didn't do something like I usually do and cut the piece I intended on using here, because I have a funny feeling that that's what I did, that I did cut it. No, I didn't. So the 8x8 greenery will go on the back. I just need to trim it. And we do want to go ahead, unless you want to use a 12 by 12 in this in this pattern, you will have that left. I usually do not double mat the back, so I am going to take the 12 by 12 instead. And if you remember from our measurements, we have the 8.5 across, the 8 high. So I'm going to cut this 8 3/8 by 7 7/8. So let me grab that black for the bottom so we can get it cut to you'll have 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 of black in your kit. But you can use anything also in your craft room. Oh, hi, Charlene. That's okay. You can ask all the questions you want. What is the project for Once Upon a Chat? For Once Upon a Christmas? It's the same project. It's the Christmas box. I just used 2 different papers because I loved them both. And I wanted to have one of each in the store for a sample. But I will have a third because I have to make a third for Old World Christmas to do it with the brighter colors with you. Because you want to know how to mat that. Okay. So you'll notice one thing we don't have done is the sides here. And I'm not going to do these sides until we're finished with our book. Because I want to make sure the cards fell out. I want to make sure I don't cut into any of the papers that are intended for the book. But now that I'm thinking about it, oh no, there isn't. Oh, wait a minute. These 2 pieces. No, they are not. So we will do these 2 when we decorate the top. That way the book will be all matted, and then you'll know which ones to use here without taking away from what we're going to use in the book. I hope that makes sense. So now our bottom. And let's put the lid on so everything isn't falling out. Well, we know it's 8.5 inches wide. And it's 4 inches. It's 8.5 long, 4 inches wide. This was left from cutting those sides. So it's going to sit perfectly. Now, if you want to double mat yours, you can go ahead and double mat it. But it sits inside the lid that we created for the bottom. I'm going to cut this at 3 7/8. Should already be 8 3/8. And if you want to use the black and double mat it for the bottom, you can. I'm not going to because it sits inside of here. And I think we got enough matting going on. And you don't see it. Really, you don't see it. But the front cover, I feel it has to be layered. And the front cover of our little booklet will be layered. Okay. So that'll be on the bottom, matches the back beautifully. Front, so I want it to go in the same direction. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I'm losing my pieces and parts. That's why you got to kind of keep things flat. There we go. Okay. Got our cover. And I already did this one in the, I think, tutorial number 2. There we go. Now, I want to put feet on here. So we'll put the feet on, and I'll do another quick walkthrough with you, but that will be where I'm going to leave you until we'll do the decorating on top, which I just used the Heartfelt Creations dies for the poinsettias. Or you can use any poinsettias you like. They can be pre-made, or if you have the dies or some other dies, any poinsettias will work. And the ribbon, you do get a ribbon in your kit along with the beads. So this will have some of the pearls too, but in a different color. And we'll come back and be doing all that on the 21st of September. And we'll have the book matted on the inside, and you'll be done. Okay, let's go ahead, and I'm going to remove this from the bottom. There will be some decorating here, but again, it lays flat, so you don't want it to be too bulky. But we need to do some things there. Probably cut the Merry Christmas from the Heartfelt Creations. That would look good. Okay, so in your kit, you will have feet. Now, most of you're going to have the graphic 45 feet. And you can do this anytime when you get your kit. You just want to set them off to dry. Again, I use E6000. Some of my designers use art glitter glue, and it works. It really does. So whatever you choose to use, it's going to take a bit to dry. But they fit on really simple. There are holes if you want to use your own brads, but again, these don't come with brads. So let's go ahead and my E6000's about had it. I don't know, this stuff, that's the only thing, it does get messy. And I've watched some tutorials where they actually use hot glue with this. I've tried it and it doesn't work for me. So I just use my E6000. We're going to hold it for a moment, and it's going to ooze out. So I like to use an older paintbrush, and we just clean that off. Okay. And well, it's better than using my teeth on camera, right? Because I bet you used your teeth too, Tiffany. Okay, you do have to hold this for a minute. E6000 is a little tricky. It might start sliding. You can use your heat gun. And we're just going to pop them on there. Whoops. Clean it off. Oh, that's true. No way. I forgot about that. Yes, there are germs on that lid, Tiffany. There certainly is. Okay, and I know glossy accents. I've seen crafters use glossy accents. Like I said, Sandy Trefker. Gosh, a couple of my designers used the art glitter glue on these. It works great, they said. Square it over here. Okay, then what I do is I just turn it over, check it a few times before I go close up my craft room for the evening. Make sure everything's there. But then once I'm happy with it and they're on there, yeah, see, I'm going, well, there they go. Tanya uses art glitter glue. That's right. So Tanya uses art glitter glue. And she says it works just fine. So once you get these babies on there, the trick is now turn it upside down and leave it somewhere. Or leave it upside down. And I like to do this, like I said, last, because it does take a few minutes to hold. Yeah, I think Tanya does. I actually do use art glitter glue I use it on wood. I love it putting paper onto wood. It's so great for that. So just watch your feet for a few minutes. I think I'll just leave this one upside down. Hi, Diane. And it will dry tonight. So I'll set that over to the side. And that is where I'm going to leave you. So if you have ordered the kit, it may not ship out till Monday the 12th. The printer's getting caught up, but we're getting there. You will get them and you'll have plenty of time to get it created until our next tutorial, which should be, maybe the 21st or 22nd, the first day of autumn. How fun is that going to be? We'll have the store open on the 19th. So I'll be doing a lot of lives coming up in the starting tomorrow when I pick our creative designer up at the airport. She's probably asleep right now because she's got to leave pretty early. And so I'll be coming live from the store, but we will come back and work on our beautiful boxes and you'll have your kits. But you got the tutorials. So you got the tutorials. You can get to working, and Deneen will get all of her cutting guides in the files, but Tanya will be getting the really nice, well, they're all nice, but with pictures that will go, we'll have the colored pictures that will go with your tutorials for your kits so that you'll have it to work along with. You'll be visual. You'll have it on the computer, but oh my gosh, you guys, watch for the lives because I'm going to miss you, but I'm so excited. But now I'm kind of like, what have I done? We got to put this store together. But I mean, I am excited. I do wish that I had Tanya and Bonnie doing the inventory, but that's okay. We'll get through. I know I'll have Tanya on the phone a lot. And I want to thank you guys for following our fun tutorial. And again, the walkthrough with the other paper collection is available online. And if you just joined us and you're wondering about the kit, I know I'm sad too. Oh, here, well, you've seen this one. So for those of you that just popped on, let's grab the other one so you can see that box. And you've already seen it light up. The only thing that's not made for this box is the cards in our little notebook. But we already, and I did kind of show you this. And this one is Old World Christmas. And our cute little folio. That is going to be great for keeping your receipts. And then the tags that I cut from the 12 by 12 paper, I did have to cut them down a little bit to fit. But I wanted them handy either to pop a picture on the back or a note, or maybe you have a large gift and you need to add your ribbon, but they're going to be behind your pocket and your pocket's usable. And then you've got your waterfall. Let's not move those feet. We just cut those where we wanted them. Your waterfall pockets. Keep receipts in. Make your list. Make your notes, photos. Oh, and we'll do our decorate. We've got to decorate our thingies here. No, I won't let you. You just had surgery, Tanya. And there's our beautiful Santa Claus. And again, you can do photos on the back, journaling, stamp, any kind of fun things you want. Just lots of fun things. Yeah, you can't come out before surgery. I mean, as close to surgery. Again, you'll have another pocket. Okay, and there's the walkthrough on that little folio for Old World Christmas. And I will be seeing you in videos, and then I'll see you back when we're back to normal on our tutorials. Sits in your box, sits on a shelf. It's going to be so beautiful. It'll be great for Christmas. Thanks, everybody. And well, I'll catch you on the next lives, which will be actually from our store. Bye-bye, everybody.